So, as far as I understand, I'm just not going to have any video today. I will try to have video next week. In fact, we still have the streaming computer converted into a node. Does that make sense? It's still running as an API node. And I think it'll probably be that way permanently once we get this proposal finished. So I don't really have anything super important to tell you guys other than the fact that I've been working on this proposal nonstop. A lot of it involved research and truly psychologically engineering what's going on there at Sonic Labs. I'll tell you this, I just got out of a conversation with Whisper where we analyzed like what are the most prominent complaints that are being brought up to Sonic Labs. And actually one of them is like the top 5 would be the comparison between Phantom and Sonic, if that makes sense. Like that is an ongoing thing. And we want that in a way because that's key to our ability to engage with them. A couple other things involve the fact that some people believe that there was like I guess the language they used, and I will admit it is a bit negative, was slow rug. People like legitimately feel like that level of disappointment from Sonic Labs. Now, what's interesting about what I just pointed in general chat here is that they have this this vertical integration revenue outpaced fee burns by 400%. And what that means is like this actually is like them doing the whole DApp monetization thing, like gas monetization for dApps. And basically what they're saying is that like because the gas is so cheap, this is not like the right way to reward validators, so to speak. Does that make sense to you guys? Like that's what they mean. So what's interesting is that if you read that, you'll see that the whole thing is like techno jargon. It's like it's techno babble, right? Which is exactly my I guess you could say my nemesis from 2024. I can't believe that I'm able to talk about this like so much time has gone by, but it has. Point being is that like while they are, waist deep in theory, their audience and their user base does not care. And at least on the research I've done, and I guess you could say the things we've tested, the way to make people care about stuff is to talk about what they care about. Like, for instance, those of you listening right now, the thing you care about is whether or not we're going to take over Phantom, correct? Does anybody disagree? You guys can hear me, right? Is my audio working? I think it is. Fantastic. So, the point being is, the answer to whether we can take over Phantom, I'm still quite bullish on, because as I continue to grind away at the design and development of this presentation and this whole strategy, I feel like I'm only getting better at getting my point across. So, like, I'll be clear, I have not sent Sonic Labs anything. I do have about 95 emails, or it's like 89, and then some of them are like not confirmed, but it's over 80 emails, we'll say that, that directly correspond to present and past Phantom and Sonic personnel. We're actually going to try to double the list by making sure each address gets sent to both a @soniclabs.com address as well as an @phantom.foundation address. So like we're going to be very, very thorough in our distribution of this. The presentation and the message is designed around addressing not only the organizational concerns, but also all the concerns inside, if that makes sense. And just like, and maybe you guys don't understand this, Sonic Labs has a communications problem. Does that make sense? First of all, they didn't really manage expectations when it came to the Mead Bridge. Would you guys agree? I think that if anything that we've done better than them is I explained how meeting worked to death way before anybody got to try it. Does anybody disagree with that? I believe I talked about it for like 8 months before anybody did it the first time. Probably about a year, actually, because I think it got mentioned in the Revelation Tour. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is that there's a right way and wrong way to do it. They might not be aware that they don't know how to do it. Do you get what I'm saying? Or they're just perhaps operationally of the belief that they don't need to do it. But the fact of the matter is, like, that's fucking insane. Do you know what I mean? Again, Lego was losing, right, $1 million per day in 2003, and then turned their company around when they started community-based initiatives. And we'll call it social capital building. What Sonic Labs has none of is social capital. They have very little. And some of the decisions coming up threaten to destroy even more. One of those decisions is their decision to sunset Phantom Opera. Like, imagine this. Imagine you're actually a DAT maker, and you're thinking about building on Sonic, but then all of a sudden, you're going to watch them kill Phantom. Does that make you feel confident about building on Sonic? Because what it means is, like, they're just going to kill the chain if they don't like how it turns out. Do you guys know what I mean? It's like that would be the trend that would be the trend that enters your mind. Yeah. And by the way, like I legitimately can say that because that's how I feel. Right? People asked if we were going to move to Sonic. And to be honest, even if we don't acquire Phantom, we're probably not going to go to Sonic. I'll tell you this. If we acquire Phantom, there's a higher chance of us going to Sonic. If we don't acquire Phantom, there's no chance of us going to Sonic. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, they're cold. They're alienating. They're kind of elitist. They're kind of arrogant. I get it. I've been there too. I was calling people subhuman tapeworms at the end of 2023, right? You live and you learn, right? Forgive me, by the way, forgive me if I'm not super eloquent today. I've actually been working exhaustively on the presentation, and it's definitely the same place I take creativity from, I take eloquence from. So if you ever listen to me talk and it sounds like I'm not good at talking, it's because I've been working very, very creatively. However, the more that I study Sonic Labs, the more that I'm sure we know what their problem is. And if we want them to solve our problem, which is basically give us Phantom Opera, we need to be able to exchange a solution in return. Now, they're throwing Phantom Opera away. So for them, it's almost like a no-cost deal. Does that make sense? Like, they're literally just going to shut it down as a means of, like, closing that loop. So all I need to do is solve a problem of theirs, or 2 or 3 or 5, and they'll probably just, like, eagerly hand it over, especially if I can direct the comms for how that's handled. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. In fact, Alexi, I would describe it like we're gonna receive Phantom Opera like as payment for our services. Yeah, like legitimately, like because the fact of the matter is, like, I'm asking for their trash, right? Like, I'm asking for their trash. I have to be able to solve one of their problems. Like, that's the only way you really can get anything done, you know? And by the way, that's the way that Pyre is designed as well. Like, every problem that's in the... every problem, whether it's in a token, or whether it's in a mechanism, or whether it's in a price, is, like, solved, like, the solution for it is elsewhere in the system, right? At least when it's operating, you know, at a critical mass, as it were. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, you have to be able to figure out, like, what is the problem over here, and then how can the solution be over here. And then basically, I need to be able to, in order to get what I want, which is, of course, Phantom Opera, I need to be able to make sure that I can give what they want, which is, you know, first you got to find out. You got to investigate them. You got to psychoanalyze them.